Burger, we take the burger game to the next level, like the Freshman 15, stacked with panko fried mozzarella. Unleash your appetite.
A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's scary that it can be put into anything, and we can't even see it or notice it.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Good evening and welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynard and I have a question for you. Did you water today? Well, if you didn't, I hope you're one of the ones that got that little amount of rainfall that we received across North Mississippi. We'll look at that here in just a moment. But yeah, that's the big emphasis. Dry conditions. We need to make sure that things are staying hydrated, and that really big emphasis on our plants. So make sure to water those. If you didn't get around to it today, make sure to do so tomorrow because more of those dry conditions sticking around. Again, as you see, our big headline, dry forecast continues all the way through the end of the week, not just for Thursday, that continues well into our weekend as well. But good news coming into the weekend forecast, gradual cooling trend heading into that weekend. So we will be enjoying some more of those, we can call them fall-like temperatures, but at least trending in the right direction, and enjoy it because it doesn't stick around forever. But speaking of the end of the week and start of the weekend, football back in action once again with our SEC football forecast and our high school forecast. So we'll have the latest look at those football forecasts live from the Room to Room Weather Center. So just excited to get into it, excited that you guys are joining us tonight and wanting to stay on top of all things weather. And we will give you exactly that. The first 12, as you can see, dry conditions across North Mississippi. That little bit of moisture we did have cleared on out and made way for a silent night across North Mississippi. As you can tell, trying to bring in that cool season, talking about Christmas references. I'll do whatever I can because I want temperatures to cool down just a bit. 69 degrees around 11, mid 60s for the start of our Thursday. And then as the day goes on, temperatures warming back up. So yeah, not going to feel like Christmas anytime soon, but sunny skies at least in the forecast. And that is a gift that keeps on giving. So make sure to enjoy it. And we will continue to track those out. Let's start with the clear night that we're experiencing over there in Monroe County. You might have known that Monroe County dealt with several isolated showers across all the way from Aberdeen up north there towards Smithville. So Monroe County, a hot spot, as well as down there towards Attala County. 76 degrees right now in Smithville, feeling like 77, but that dew point around the mid 60s. So temperatures will continue to cool off overnight. No, it won't be those warm or mild conditions, should I say. Rolling Fork, 75 degrees, that dew point around 70. And as you can see, a little bit more moisture in the atmosphere with some of that cloud cover right there. This is looking southwest and well, that was odd. I think those are bugs. Thought it was a shooting star for a quick second and I got really excited. But when I saw two in like 1 second, that's when I knew that it probably was not a shooting star. But hey, you can still make a wish. Like I said, it's going to be a gift tomorrow, but we definitely want those cooler conditions. Batesville, 72 degrees and much clearer conditions. As you can see, a few stars up there in the sky. Dew point 68 degrees. So that moisture is still slightly there, but overall, we're enjoying those drier conditions. It's just whenever those temperatures overnight kind of cool off, matches up with some of those dew points, and then that could form some patchy fog. But overall, no, we're going to be dry. Don't worry. Mississippi Live Weather Radar, the last of those showers clearing out there towards Attala County and Holmes County. No longer a threat for us. West of I-55, really the hot spot for a few of these pop-up showers, but a lot of this, I would argue, not making it all the way to the surface. And these just seem to be forming along a boundary right now. That boundary being picked up on Futurecast earlier on this evening and has a lot of these showers pushing more towards eastern Arkansas. One of the things we'll see here in just a minute, but enjoy that over there towards Highway 61. You guys are so lucky. My word, you guys get rainfall every single time I look at radar. So you guys are fortunate. Tell us your secret. But let's go ahead and get into that rainfall accumulation. And as you can see, I mean, there was barely any across the region. I know it looks like way more than what it is, but whenever we highlight these totals, those lighter blues are only about 1/10 of an inch. So these were not impactful showers. I mean, we got up to 1/4 of an inch just outside of Pontotoc, Montgomery County, 1/10 of an inch down there in Attala County, a couple hundredths of an inch, maybe up to about 1/10 of an inch in a few spots. I will say our local heaviest amount was about 1/2 inch there on the northeast side of Oktibbeha County, right along Highway 82 at that 45-82 intersection. So some folks, it was a blessing. Monroe County, I mentioned to you a moment ago, 1/4 of an inch for you guys. But yeah, I see my house and I see that it is dry and I can advocate it was a very dry forecast. And not what we want. We need rainfall and we are counting down the days when it will finally decide to move into North Mississippi. But we talked about this earlier on at 6 o'clock, just how fortunate are we? Whenever you look at the grand scheme of things, we have some showers up there towards the northwest, talking about around Seattle and Boise. That's where a low pressure center is moving in. I see a little bit over there towards, I think this is Chihuahua, Mexico. And then you have this little batch over there towards Mississippi. And then, of course, up here around the northeast. But aside from that, there's your rainfall. So the fact that Mississippi is one of the 7 states across the United States getting some rainfall, we'll take it. We're not complaining one bit. We would like a little bit more. If God's listening to this, we're going to say our prayers tonight and hopefully pray for some rain. But we were definitely one of the lucky ones in the grand scheme of things compared to what we saw across the United States. Zooming things back in here to the Twin States, you can see that a lot of that moisture down there towards the Gulf Coast, that's where some of that moisture is circulating in with some of those easterly, southeasterly winds, trying to get that more towards Baton Rouge and Gulfport. That's the extent of the rain showers. As you can see, 6 a.m. on your Thursday, dry across North Mississippi. Not just dry, but also very, very clear. Those conditions will continue to persist by 9 a.m. A few of those showers trying to develop along those Gulf Coast regions once again, but that's just typically the forecast down there. Noontime up here in North Mississippi. If you were considering going to the beach, well, consider this your reward if you didn't decide to go, because forecast is looking much better here than down at the beach, whether you were heading to New Orleans or there towards Panama City. North Mississippi is phenomenal, comparatively speaking. 6 a.m., 63 degrees, climbing throughout the day, 82 around lunch. We are going to be in the upper 80s towards your Thursday afternoon, but I'm just going to take a step off screen here real quick and let you look at this forecast. Sunshine, 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 sunshine. Nothing to complain about this forecast. One that we are very excited about, so make sure to get out and about and enjoy those afternoon forecasts outside. Parks are readily available. I know Ballard Park just got a great new addition, so go out there and check it out. But we'll have a good look at that forecast for your Thursday evening and for your Friday football forecast. I know that's what a lot of folks are excited about. Coming up in the next 60 live here on the Room to Room Weather Center. We're just excited about this forecast. I know we do need some rainfall on top of it, but let's look at this forecast as a glass half full. And that is that it's dry. That is we can enjoy some outdoor activities or get those outdoor chores done. We'll be looking at that in much more detail for your weekend forecast coming up on Mississippi Live Weather at 10 in the next 60.
If you're facing a DUI charge, every decision matters. At the law office of Andrew W. Stewart II, we provide a skilled defense to protect your record, rights, and future. Call today or visit drewstewartlaw.com. Your future is worth defending.
Get ready for a night of inspiration, laughter, and support. Join us on Saturday, October 4th at 6 p.m. at the Tupelo Cotton Mill, where outstanding men from our community will walk in her shoes. You'll hear powerful stories from survivors and caregivers, enjoy delicious food and drinks, and experience live entertainment in an evening filled with fellowship, fun, and hope. All proceeds go to support those bravely fighting cancer. This event is powered by Wear It Well.
Being a parent, especially for the first time, with that comes a lot of self-doubt. As a dad, I just try to lead by example. When you're trying to be the best person that you can be, your kids see that and then they emulate that.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Well, as you can see, a beautiful evening as we head into those overnight hours into our Thursday. 75 degrees there in Tupelo, feeling like 77. Dew point still a little bit back, so that means temperatures going to cool off a bit more. One thing I have noticed over the past few days is that there is going to be some areas of patchy fog where those dew points and temperatures line up, so be wary of that, but a lot of that burns up as soon as that sun starts to peek over the horizon, so not really something we need to worry about, but if you're any late night commuter like I am when I drive home from work, well then just be expecting that for some areas. 81 in Winona, toasty forecast out there in Montgomery County. Dew point still around 66 degrees, so no patchy fog for you guys out there. It's primarily going to be in those areas that still have dew points in the 70 plus range. Elsewhere, dry forecast. Mississippi Live Weather Radar, like we mentioned, a little bit of a disturbance there around Highway 61, transitioning west and carrying over there towards the Mississippi and Arkansas state line. So not going to be too impactful for us, but not complaining about a few more drops of rainfall. I know folks over there in Hollandale, Greenville, and Cleveland and Shelby, very appreciative of that. Even they're down around Yazoo City looking like a pretty good forecast with a few drops of rainfall. Midnight on your day planner, 68 degrees, cooling off into those overnight hours, dropping into the low to mid 60s. So still going to be an above average start for our Thursday, but What's new? We've been getting it the past several days. The good thing with this forecast, though, is yes, temperatures are a little bit above average, but that forecast above average too. As you can see, sunny skies in the forecast well into our Thursday morning. So any of those early commuters should be a good forecast for you. All the more reason to wake up and get out the door. But as the morning goes on, if you're a late riser like myself, then you will enjoy a good forecast too. Temperatures just might be a little bit warmer comparatively speaking. 62 Amory, 63 Columbus, and 61 towards Boonville. As we jump out west, 65 Clarksdale, 67 Cleveland, and 69 down around Greenville. Whew, going to be a little bit more of a mild start down there in the southwest portion of our viewing area. Drop off 63 degrees for your school day forecast. Climbing as the day goes on, 79 by lunch and 86 by that last bell. Why do I love this graphic? Well, A, I love a good school day, but B, sunshine all day long. So teachers, if you have the opportunity to go outside, I know my wife, she does science, and so she takes some science experiments outside. Might be the time to schedule a science experiment. Just go explore the outdoors to enjoy this beautiful forecast before those cool temperatures really kick in, because they will kick in at some point, right? Fingers crossed. We'll look at that forecast here in just a second. I had to put that one out there. Let's go ahead and get into our Thursday forecast. And as I mentioned, sunshine. So there's very little to talk about whenever it comes to our futurecast. The one thing I will note is those easterly winds blowing in, a little bit of those breezy conditions, 5 to 10 miles an hour. Would not be surprised to see gusts get up around 15 or so. As you can see, those gusty conditions going to be well into the North Mississippi area. What this wind is doing is driving our forecast out there towards the west and forming a little bit more of that disturbance towards Arkansas. So no chance of rain here in North Mississippi. We're going to keep with those dry conditions and a calm forecast, but where you can see a few pop-up showers is out there towards Arkansas, Little Rock, Pine Bluff, especially into your Thursday evening. That's when those showers will really start to initiate, similar to what we saw for today. So that's basically carrying over out west, but no longer here in North Mississippi. So wave goodbye, because it did its time here. High temperatures on your Thursday, like I mentioned, above average. 87 in Houston, 87 Starkville, and 85 towards Louisville, 88 Senatobia, and still 90s popping up. Clarksdale, Greenwood, Belzona, Greenville, even up around Tunica. So toasty forecast for sure, but at least we're starting to trend in the right direction. I know that forecast looked toasty, but it's actually a degree or two cooler than where we're sitting at currently. So into our Thursday evening, those dry conditions continue to stick around. And as we get into our Friday, yes, the end of the week, it is so close. And we are going to be wrapping up the week with some very much on a high note. As you can see, Friday morning, going to be waking up early. One of my favorite things to do growing up was whenever it was a good forecast or a good day, my dad would wake up extra early and take us to go get some breakfast. So parents, if you want to wake up a couple minutes early and take your kids to McDonald's or something, or make them breakfast, who knows? It'll be a good time to do so, because usually when that sun's out and it's some drier conditions, you get a little bit happier as you head out the door. Nevertheless, whenever you're starting the day on a Friday, right? That's all the smile you need right there. So as you head into your Friday, late morning and early afternoon, will continue to be that dry forecast. So all the more reason to enjoy it. 3 p.m. on your Friday. Yes, we are done with the school week. Going to enjoy a great weekend, and already starting on a beautiful note with those sunny skies. Perfect reason to get out and enjoy some of those football games. Go to those local football games. We'll be live in Ecru, cheering on North Pontotoc and New Albany, both teams. We're going to be on both sides that night. But just excited for a great game, our Mississippi Live Weather Game of the Week. So hopefully we can see a great game filled with great highlights, and excited to put those highlights here on Mississippi Live Weather and showcase that to you guys on Friday at 10. So make sure to tune in. Just one of the things that we are so excited about here at Mississippi Live Weather, to be a part of your Friday nights. High temperatures, 84 degrees in Houston, 81 Boonville, 81 Iuka, and 86 towards Columbus. So those temperatures taking a decent step back into our Friday afternoon. So not only is it going to be sunny, our temperatures will be right around our seasonable average. So no complaints here whenever it comes to that forecast. And your Friday is going to be spectacular. 79 around pregame, 73 halftime, and 67 by that final snap. And I mentioned highlights. If you want to be on this graphic, you got to give me some highlights, North Pontotoc and New Albany. So that's one of the also main reasons why I'm happy to do it. It's because we get to upgrade this graphic, or update, should I say, and showcase some of what you guys did Friday night. So this was West Point Tupelo. Great game, hard-fought battle. West Point killed it in the first half, but then became a tight battle near the end. 11 seconds made all the difference in the game. But excited to see, as you can tell, I keep bringing it up. But beautiful, clear conditions all game long. By that final snap, though, 67 degrees. A few areas it could be even cooler. So have that long sleeve ready just in case, especially if you're one of those late night workers that have to clean up the stadium. Once those people leave, it begins to cool off drastically. Vanderbilt taking on Alabama in Tuscaloosa Saturday at 2:30. Should be a great battle between two ranked teams. You did hear that correctly. Vanderbilt is ranked, and I guess I'm repping my Commodore colors. So what is it? Go doors? Is that what they say? Anchor down. 83 degrees first play, 82 halftime, and 77 by that final snap. You see some cloudy conditions trying to linger. I would say that that's a bit aggressive on that cloud cover. Let's dial it back to some partly cloudy conditions, and I would say that more lines up with the forecast. But breezy conditions, 5 to 10 miles an hour out of the east. Kickers beware. It's going to be a little bit gusty. Same thing around College Station. 88 first play, 82 by halftime, and 76 towards that final snap. Clear conditions all game long, but those breezy conditions continue even out there in Texas. Mississippi State taking on Texas A&M, and it'll be a tough one for sure. But fingers crossed, as a State fan, I think that we can make things interesting. We at least did last week, but that home field advantage not there anymore. At least the stadium will be filled with maroon and white. We just got to show them the true maroon and white, right, Bulldogs? So let's get into that 7-day, and as you may have noticed or may have caught on, it's going to be a beautiful forecast to wrap up the week and into our weekend with temperatures, like I mentioned, taking a step back, dropping to those mid-80s through our weekend, but those low temperatures, that's really the thing to notice. 63 falling down to the upper 50s for Friday morning and Saturday morning. Climbing back though, so that cool weather does not stick around forever. At least high temperatures pretty consistent there in the mid-80s, but you do notice we're climbing back into the mid-60s Sunday, upper 60s, closer to the start of the week. Large portion of that, we do see moisture re-entering into the forecast. So those isolated showers continuing to verify whenever we're looking at those temperatures as well. Less of a change compared to the drier conditions we have right now. So that's one of the things that we look for whenever forecasting some of that rainfall. So fortunately, starting to verify just a bit more. So we'll continue to look at that forecast as we head into Mississippi Live weather on your Thursday, on your Friday, and really into the weekend as well. And hopefully those percentages remain, if not get even higher. And we'll continue to track that here in the Room to Room Weather Center. And one of the best ways you can stay informed on that forecast as we head about these next 7 days is with the Mississippi Live Weather app, readily available on any app store, whether that's iOS or Android. Again, you can download that right now. Latest version of the app just came out, and it is available today. So if you have your app and you've not updated it yet, there will be some fixes to it and some new additions that we're excited about here at Mississippi Live Weather. And just a big thank you once again for supporting us, making this whole dream a reality. I mean, I couldn't imagine a better combination, getting to serve North Mississippi and keep you guys informed, all while doing it with the freedom of talking all things weather. So apologies in advance for yapping your ear off, but at least you guys can go to bed now. Our next broadcast happening on your Thursday morning at 6:30, 7, and 7:30. So make sure to keep it here for the very latest as meteorologist Maggie McCauley walks through that forecast. And we'll be back here at 5, 6, and 10 on your Thursday. Once again, talking about those dry conditions, but cooler temperatures on the way. Excited to talk more about that and your weekend forecast. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you bright and early. As it gets, I guess it could get a little bit more perfect with temperature.